Hi, my name is Matt Sherman from Geek Psychology. Today I'm going to teach you about ideas and how they get incepted into your brain. How they start small, they start as one simple idea, but they build on each other, and each one is connected and builds further and further until you're left with a belief or an idea that you identify as. So everyone has some belief about themselves. A limiting belief, a positive belief, but a belief nonetheless that has defined who you see yourself as. Today we're talking more about the limiting beliefs. It could be my efforts don't matter. I shouldn't make waves. I should keep the peace at all cost. It could be the world is an unjust place and I must defend the innocent. Could be that the world is imperfect and I must work towards improvement of that, and I must bring other people with me. It could be that the world values a champion and I must avoid failure at all cost. It could be that people depend on my help and I am needed, I'm necessary to people. It could be that something is missing within me. Others have it, I don't seem to have it, and I've been abandoned by the world or by the people that care about me or that I thought should care about me. It could be that the world is a threatening place and I must question authority. It could be that the world is invasive and I need to maintain my privacy, to think, to refuel myself and my energies. It could be that the world is full of opportunities and options and I look forward to the future in order to find the next opportunity to get away from whatever the negative situation is right now. So there are tons of different beliefs. You can choose your own flavor here. But really, you haven't always had this idea or this belief about yourself. At some point, a version of reality, an idea, a perspective, a belief was implanted in you. Whether it was done by you or by somebody else, that's up for you. I can't tell you that right now. But maybe your parents got a divorce, and when they sat you down to tell you that, from that moment, your young mind held the idea and the thought that you are not good enough. You didn't really know why it happened, but you created a reason for it. You're not good enough. I'm not good enough. At that young stage, you don't know the reason for the things happening, but you attached a belief to it. You began from there to recognize different patterns in search of meaning of that event. And so your world starts to form around that idea. And you start to have more and more beliefs and ideas that are backing that up. Maybe from there, you're playing basketball with your team and you shoot and you miss. Oh, you miss horribly. And your teammate starts yelling at you, starts saying some really harsh words. And then you go a deeper level on this idea, this false perception of what happened, of reality, the meaning that you attach to it. And you think, okay, so my parents split up because of me. And now my teammate doesn't want me on the team. I must be the problem. And no matter how angry or upset I get, how afraid or fearful I am, whatever it is, I cannot give in to it. I need to keep calm, keep a level head, and not cause problems so that I'm safe. Now, this is my version of the story, but everybody has their own. From one initial interpretation of an event, you build a set of ideas, like Russian nesting dolls, each one nestled inside the other, each one creating stronger and stronger belief structures. What do? You need to find that belief forming moment, the original point of crystallization, that first seed of an idea that was implanted, that moment in time where part of you wanted one thing and part of you wanted another thing. At that moment, you became fractured and you attributed meaning that wasn't innately there in the event. Events themselves have no meaning. And you found from there the pattern to support that idea, that meaning. And one of those voices, those characters, those ideas, parts of you, identities, however you want to imagine them, one of those got more attention than the other. Now, if you are in a safe place, which I assume you are if you're watching this, I want you to close your eyes. Envision a timeline of your life from birth to death. It could go from left to right. It could go from behind you to in front of you. It could be at an angle, a diagonal. It could be down to up. Let your mind find a fitting version. You can do this by asking your unconscious mind to locate an event from yesterday on your timeline. Even if you feel unsure, just trust your unconscious mind to find that event. Good. Now, again, find an event from last week, from a month ago, from a year ago. Ask now your unconscious mind to find and plot some events in the future that you know will happen. Could be a birthday, perhaps a sports event, a vacation, graduation, whatever it could be. And now we're going to travel along the timeline to shake loose the connections and meanings that we've attributed to those identity-forming beliefs. Remember, the events themselves have no inherent meaning in them. We give that meaning to the event, and because of that, we can change that meaning to fit a more empowered version of ourselves, to live a better life, to be happier, more confident, healthier, whatever it is that you need to become. Let's start at the beginning. When is and where is the original belief along the timeline? The original crystallization point that I talked about before. It'll likely be somewhere near the start of the timeline in the first 3 to 7 years of your life. It doesn't have to be, but that's usually where it can be found. Trust your unconscious mind to find it if you are doubting yourself. And I want you to leave now on the timeline by floating up and up above that timeline, up, as high as you feel is right. The timeline could be only a few inches long as you're looking over it, if that's how high you choose to go. Then float backward towards the initial event, the inception. Float past that event, past it, before it happened, and land on or next to your timeline, facing now. I want you to talk to the younger version of yourself and give it the resources that it needs to become a loving, confident, safe, trusting, whole person. Reassure your younger self that everything will be okay. And that whatever happened didn't mean that you were bad, didn't mean that you were defective or unlovable, or whatever your flavor of suffering is or has been. So reassure your younger self. Hug your younger self. Be happy with your younger self. Now, having comforted that past version of yourself and having taught your younger you the lesson it needed to know, smile, hug the younger version of you, and float up. Back up. Take that lesson that you taught yourself and turn it into some sort of magical dust or confetti of sorts, and sprinkle it over your timeline as you return now. Add an extra little bit to each of those connected events that have been maintaining this limiting belief. And as you land and return to the present moment, having changed and feeling empowered, notice that energy within you. Notice the change within yourself, the confidence, the joy. You can shake it loose and open your eyes. So thank you for joining me on this. I know it's a little strange for a lot of people, but if you were one of the people that actually didn't do this and you felt shy or awkward to do it, it's okay. Go home and try it. Try it in your own private, okay? And you now have the ability to travel back and forth along your timeline, as well as up and out of yourself, to separate yourself from negative emotions, or to go back into yourself with a new emotion, a new belief, to embody it more fully. If you want to know more about questing, gamifying life, personal growth, listening to the different archetypal heroes within you, and living a better, more productive, exciting, self-accepting life, please head over to geekpsychology.com. You can find me there, or you can find me on YouTube as well under Geek Psychology, but not the Russian channel. I don't know what's up with that. You should know if you find the correct channel. And keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Thank you very much. Goodbye.